Hello everybody and welcome to the quarterfinals of the ENCDL. Yeah, we made playoffs. If we look at the standings, I finished second place overall behind only Memphis Grizzlies, who we lost to, so even if we had the same differential, he'd have the head-to-head against me. He had a great run. He got multiple 5-0s, multiple 6-0s. I did not do terribly, actually. I only lost to him. I had a lot of close games. I'm not going to go through all of them, but like here's a 1-0, or yeah, 1-0. Blah, 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 all the way up to... I got a 6-0 last week, which definitely was really good, and I definitely needed that, because if Sigtrick won his game against Weaselman, which he didn't, he actually had 1 point of differential above me, so all he needed to do was, for me, was to lose 5-0 or better, because I got a 6-0, or win 5-0 or better, and then we'd either be tied or whatever. I don't actually know what the next head-to-head... Well, because we never played, so there would be no head-to-head. It would be strength of schedule, which I have no way of knowing. But he ended up losing, so that 6-0 didn't actually mean anything. It was just a nice flex to keep me up at 7-1. Yeah, so the way that we do playoffs here, it's different than in the FDL, where it's just seeded based on, you know, like, first seed would fight 8th seed. What we do is that the top 4 seeds get to pick between the bottom 4 seeds who they want to face. So Dave picked Collin, the 8th seed, and Collin's team, I think, actually does match up quite poorly into Dave's. Dave has already beaten Collin 5-0, I think. And where are the teams? Draft? Yeah. Because Collin's strongest thing that his team can do is trap with Gothitelle. And Dave's team is actually very hard to trap, because this has access to Flip Turn, this is a Ghost type. This actually... Oh no, this can Whirlwind, so this, like, technically can make him Collin switch, which means that he can then switch. Kilowattrel can Volt Switch, Flip Turn, U-Turn. This could be trapped. This is a Steel type, so it's very difficult to kill once it's been trapped. This can Poison Gothitelle. And then the bottom 3 are kind of shit ones. So Dave's team actually matches up really well into trapping. Yeah, so Dave was able to beat Collin since Collin didn't even bring Gothitelle the first time, and I think that's his strongest mode. Then I'm up next, and between the remaining teams, we had Weaselman, who have already played, and Kane, who have already played. And I didn't really feel keen on doing a rematch, so I did Chutbutter. The Grifton Gulpin. So that's who we're playing. We can look at his team. Let me zoom in a little bit now that we don't need to look at the bracket anymore. He had the first overall pick, and he picked Iron Valiant, which I think, like, everybody in the top, like, 4 people all wanted Iron Valiant as their first pick, I think. Very good pick. Very good mon. Very scary. And then, I think I've said it before, this is kind of... I really wanted Iron Valiant, because it's my favorite Gen 9 mon. My second favorite is Cyclizar, who I did end up getting. So Iron Valiant, it's actually one of the only good fairy types we have access to. Like, Sylveon hits hard, but it's really slow. Florges is in here, and Florges is actually relatively expensive. 10 points for Florges, which is like... I'm used to Florges being really good in VGC draft because it's like a D tier. But like, for 10 points, I don't know if that's worth it. I guess it can Wish Pass in singles, which is a big deal. Hatterane's around, but it's really slow. Like, that's just the thing about Valiant, is that it's a fast fairy, and there are no other mons that fill the role of fast fairy. Every other fairy in the game is, like, slow as shit. Screamtail's, like, relatively fast, which is why it's 12 points, but it doesn't hit hard at all. It's more defensive than offensive. Ribombee is a fast fairy, and Ninetales is, like, the other fast fairy, because we have Fluttermane banned, obviously. But the thing with Valiant, you want to pair it with Steel types, because it's weak to, well, just, first of all, Fairy and Ground have perfect coverage, so Iron Treads is a really good pair, because the things that resist Fairy are Steel and Fire. Ground covers both of those. And then by pairing it with a Steel type, you can help to remove the Poison types that threaten it, and the Flying, it resists the Flying types that threaten this, and what else is this weak to? Psychic, and Steel. Steel just resists everything that Valiant is weak to. So, pairing it with Treads, I liked a lot, because then I had the idea of taking Pincurchin as a last pick, because nobody else is going to take it. So now you have Pincurchin with 2 Paradox Mons. Pincurchin is terrible, I'm just going to say, but it is an option. Then, because, like, I remember looking at the Smogon analysis for Iron Valiant, and then, like, seeing it says, they say pair it with Iron Treads or Heatran. And then Chutbutter just got both. And then I do think rotom-wash is the next logical step, because... Now you're kind of weak to, well, these two are both weak to water. I wouldn't have taken both, I would have taken one. They're both weak to water and ground. Rotom-wash is like, it is immune to ground, it resists water, and it can also beat them, which is important, because there's a lot of Pokemon that resist water and ground that can't actually beat them. Like, bulky, other bulky waters, like something like a Mudlotic or like a Gyarados, I guess. I guess Gyarados can beat ground types, but not really water types without being able to Terra, which I don't think it can in this league. Next up, he took Umbreon, which I think is a decent pick. It's a nice defensive Mon, and it can pivot with Baton Pass since that is legal in this league. The only thing is that we then start to see a pattern forming here with 3 fighting weeks that he's going to try and desperately scramble to solve with his last couple picks. So, yeah. But he did actually make a good choice of Poison and Ghost for the Terra types on Umbreon. 2 things that help mitigate that fighting weakness. And like that's something that like Eastside Emboar didn't really do. Like look at this team. The only fighting resist here is Landorus, right? Everything else is either weak to or neutral. I'm not counting Meowstic because it's really bad. And then Bisharp, he had the option of picking like Ghost, Flying, stuff like that. No, he picked Dark, Steel, and then Water. Water is good, but Dark and Steel, you don't need both. Pick Flying or pick Ghost. But Poison and Ghost, amazing types for Umbreon. Both resist Fighting, and Poison also can resist Fairy, which is something that his team actually, aside from the 2 Steel types, is a little bit weak to, because he also ended up picking a Dragon down here. Next up, Kleavor. I'm also not really a fan of this pick. It does not resist Fighting. It's not weak to it, but it doesn't resist it. It also starts to give you a sort of water weakness between, like, these 3, and it's like, yeah, you got stuff that resists it, like rotom-wash, and Umbreon is just especially defensive enough, and then these 2 resist it here. But the problem is that, like, you're bringing these 3 almost every game. Like, maybe not Kleavor, but these 2 come every game. Valiant comes every game. Rotom, I feel like almost has to come every game, but I don't think he brings it that... No, he does bring Rotom. He doesn't bring Umbreon that often, and I do think Umbreon is a must pick. I think you have to bring these top 5, and then pick one of the bottom. But what he's ended up doing is pick these 5, and then bring one of these in the last slot. But I do think Umbreon is quite important for the defensive core on this team. Next up, he has Bramblegast. He's brought it, I think, maybe once. And he does have Tailwind. Kleavor and Noivern can both set Tailwind for it, so it can get an attack boost, which is kind of cool. Then Farigiraf is just a bulky Mon. He's run... I think he's run it once. He had Agility and then either Nasty Plot or Calm Mind. I don't know. I think it got killed before it did anything. And then Pincurchin he's never brought. And I hope he doesn't bring versus me, because I actually have done 0 prep for it, and it could be kind of annoying if he does bring it. Yeah, that's the squad. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't talk about Noivern. It's just fast, hits hard, and can U-turn, and yeah. So that's the squad. Now we'll look at my team. I have some cool stuff cooked up, and I have thought about it, like, since the beginning, because I'm like, how do I beat this team? This looks like a really well-rounded team. What do I do against it? And the very first thing I thought of is no item Golden Go. The idea being it completely walls Bramblegast, because Bramblegast is going to run Power Whip, Poltergeist, then probably Shadow Sneak, and then Rapid Spin, right? Or maybe Leech Seed Rapid Spin, I don't know. But he is going to absolutely click Poltergeist when he sees my Goldengo, and it's going to fail because I don't have an item. And then I just kill it back with Shadow Ball. It's so funny. Yeah, so that's really funny. Actually, let me just double check that Iron Valiant. I want to make sure that I can kill +1 Iron Valiant with... Make it rain. Yes, I can. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure in case it's Calm Mind. Because I have no special attack investment at all. Then Shadow Ball is just good damage into Bramblegast, particularly. And then it also hits all the Steel types in Rotom. And then Steel just hits every... I guess just Valiant and Kleavor. Then I'll come back to Memento later. Recover's just obviously really good. Next up is Gliscor, which I actually don't expect to do that much, despite the fact that it's, like, insane defensively here. Like, it's full Spadef, right? Because the Heatran is actually a huge problem. I didn't actually realize how strong Heatran is, even with no defense, like, even with no, offensive investment. It does 40% with none. Like, that's crazy. And then if it is 252 Modest, it can 2-shot my Gliscor. Because the trapping damage is equal to the amount that I heal by Poison Heal. Like, that's crazy. Although I am faster and will kill it. And I do have speed in. The speed is faster than... Does he have a base 60? Yeah, for Farigiraf. This is faster than max speed for Farigiraf. Which is probably a little bit overkill. But I also is just kind of generally speed creeping the Heatran, because I could expect Heatran to go like, let's just say I'm 0, hit 226, let's just go, make him modest, and then start just creeping. He's not going to go max speed probably, because even max speed is slower than like Samurott and stuff. But I could expect him to do something like this, just go enough to be faster than 0. But if I'm 60, then he has to go like a lot. Yeah, he has to go like a lot. So yeah, so I opted for no rocks because like really rocks aren't that good here. He's got an easy spin with treads, and nothing on the team is actually weak to rocks except Noivern, which is probably going to be running boots anyway. So no rocks. I did do toxic because if the Valiant is set up, getting a toxic on it is really good. And it's also a really good way of dealing with the rotom-wash if I can catch him on. I know he likes to do screens rotom, so let's say I have Noivern or Gliscor out. And then he's obviously probably just going to expect me to switch to one of my, like, waters, like, particularly this one, which completely walls Rotom. So maybe he'll go for a cheeky light screen or reflect. I can maybe catch him with a toxic and then U-turn out. I'm also full Spidef, so I do just live a Hydro Pump if he goes for it anyway. So toxic, really good. Next up, we have this AV Samurott. First draft of the team, I had Choice Band, because Choice Band is actually crazy. Basically, Choice Band Aqua Jet was doing half to Treads and half, like not half, maybe like 40% to Valiant, and it one-shots like everything. It can two-shot Rotom if it's offensive Rotom, and it comes in on the Razor Shell and then gets defense dropped. Like, that's insane. It two-shots Umbreon like pretty easily. It was just insane. But ultimately, I kind of wanted another thing to switch in on Magma Storm after I realized that it could two-shot my my Gliscor. So this can live 2 Magma Storms. When I changed off Band, I liked Banded Sacred Sword because the team is, like I said, very fighting weak. Not that one. Just those 4. And Sacred Sword can one-shot all of them. But then I'm like, okay, Umbreon does have the Terra to Terra out of that, so being locked into Sacred Sword's not amazing. And then Brick Break can help me break the screens that he likes to set with the Rotom. And I'd never want to be locked into Brick Break, but with the AV, I'm not locked into a move I can change around. This hits the same speed stat as both of these. All 3 of these hit 241. And then Ceaseless obviously sets up the spikes. This amount of defense lets me live a 252 Spirit Break from Valiant. And with the AV, I already live Moonblast. So the only thing that kills me is close combat. Next up, we have this one I'm really proud of. I think this is really funny. This is Lantern that is intended to switch in on Rotom, prevent him from Volt switching out, and then maybe he'll get greedy thinking that I can't do that much to him, go for a screen, and I Whirlpool him, trap him, and kill him, because it's just a Rotom remover. It can also, very importantly, assuming the Umbreon is Wish Protect, if it's Moonlight, I can probably PP stall it with Gliscor, because it'll only have 8, but if it's Wish Protect, it's got 16. I want to trap it, and then get like 4 discharges on it, and then paralyze it, because if it's Wish Protect, you've got 2 chances to be paralyzed, right? You can't reliably Wish Protect, and that's my way of breaking it, kind of. I've also got Trick Choice Scarf later, but that's one way of doing it. Also, if I can, if he's not Terra Poison, if he's Terra Ghost, I can just Toxic him, and that's the easy way to kill it. But if he is Terra Poison, I'd like to paralyze it. Last move I was considering Ice Beam for the Noivern, but then I ultimately decided that Flip Turn's better, because if the Noivern is in on me, he's probably going to expect Ice Beam, so he'll probably U-turn off, then I can just Flip Turn and get momentum off of whoever he goes into, like Treads or whatever, because Treads does one-shot this, even with the HP and defense investment I have, Treads just kills, because that's such low base. Also, it's important to note that because my HP is so high, I get more out of fully investing in Spadef, and then this is just a leftovers number. Whereas something like this, actually I would get more out of Spadef, but I wanted to live physical attacks too. This is the correct number. Actually, let me look at my hazards numbers. Maybe I should drop Goldengo's HP stat a point. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, next up is Rotom. This one is quite important. I actually think that if I weaken the team enough, this can sweep with Terra Water, Terra Blast, because, like I said, the team has multiple water weaknesses. Just these 3. And then, Valiant doesn't even count as like a neutral hit because it's so specially frail. Basically, remove Rotom, remove Umbreon, and then the team sort of falls to Terra Water, Terra Blast with Choice Scarf. It's actually kind of crazy. And the important thing about Choice Scarf is that, well, first of all, Terra Water, Terra Blast, 2 shots, even max HP. Does it do max? Not max speed def. Okay, max speed def feature and can live, but if it's max speed def, it's not max special attack. And that means that he's going to 3-hit KO me, and I 3-hit KO him, and I'm faster. What about Iron Treads? Does Iron Treads live? Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. What about Assault Vest? Does Assault Vest live 2? No, Assault Vest only lives 1. Or, it only lives 2. It doesn't live 3. But the important thing is, the reason I ran Terra Water, look at Iron Treads. Iron Treads can never break Terra Water Rotom. It's actually kind of crazy, even with Volt Switch. It would have to be Wild Charge. I don't think it ever is Wild Charge. I think it's got to be Volt Switch. Like nothing. Nothing. And then we put Iron Valiant in. The thing is that if it is booster speed, it is faster than me. But if it's not booster speed, like let's say he's been forced to switch out, because I can kind of easily force him out with Goldengo. Air Slash kills, and then Terra Blast is doing like half, so if he's taking chip, he's dead. So the ones that come into wall me are these two, and like I said, I've got, hopefully, Lantern will be able to trap and kill this, and then I just have enough stuff, you know, I can, if Rotom's not looking like it's going to sweep endgame, I can trick this to a Scarf, cripple it, and maybe trap it with this. If it's scarfed into, let's just say, Moonlight, I can maybe trap it, or even Foul Play, I could trap it. Yeah, and then one of my end games, I think Rotom could be an end game. This is another one. Phalanx, I think it's really good, because like I said, this team has a huge fighting weakness. So Phalanx, there's basically like 3 things that I have to deal with, right? If the Umbreon is the Terra, gotta deal with that first. Or Umbreon could just not come, because right, there's many times he's not brought Umbreon, and like maybe looking at my Volcarona, and Darkspawn's not an issue, but Volcarona, for sure, he'd be like, okay, well, Volcarona beats Umbreon like really hard, so I'm not gonna bring it. Umbreon does match up really well into Goldengo though, so I think he might bring it. Also, it can't really deal with Bramblegast. I could do, no, I don't want to do Terra Ghost. I want to do Terra Steel. I guess I could put Knockoff on. But I like the Trailblaze because I am slower than the Cleavor if it's Scarfed, which he's done multiple times before. And also the Valiant is important, because if the Valiant has booster speed, let's look at Phalanx. Let's put Phalanx at +2. Look, that's actually speed tied with max speed Valiant. And the thing is, the Valiant, I don't actually expect to go max speed, because this stat hits like nothing on my team. So I actually think he's just going to drop it to, well, let's just say he's physical, right? Let's just say he's physical Jolly. 259. I think he'll just drop it to 260 and then get the extra 16 in HP. Or, if he wants to go mixed, he might do like 16 in special attack or something, right? Or if he's mostly special, they give you 252, then drop to 30, well, let's make this timid. Then drop it to 340, 41 because it's a jump point, and then put that last like 60 or however much in attack, right? Like if he's mixed. So I'm thinking he actually doesn't go max speed, which means that +2 Phalanx is faster with if I can get to +2, which I think I might be able to pretty easily. It also is not my best move versus Rotom, but it should 2-shot. I think it's short of max Fizdef Rotom. Rotom-wash. Might put me at +1. This is full Fizdef. Let's just make it modest. It does not 2-shot, but if he's got speed, right? If he's speed, it'll 2-shot. But also importantly, Trailblaze into close combat should kill, I think, almost any Rotom. Not max Fizdef. He'd have to be max Fizdef. But looking at my team, right, typing-wise, he already walls the Gliscor. I think the ones that he's going to want to wall, Goldengo and Volcarona, both special. So I think he will be more Spadef than Fizdef. So at least like Palm. And then at this point, once you take some of these EVs out, now he's starting to get killed by Trailblaze into close combat. Originally I had a Lumberry for maybe Toxic from Umbreon, or from Will-O-Wisp from that, but then I opted for Metal Coat because when we put Iron Valiant back in, +1 Iron Head, it just gives you a way better roll. Because before, I didn't have the Rotom. The original draft of the team didn't have the Lantern or the Rotom on it, because I obviously just want Cyclizar every week, because like he does have hazards with Cleavor and Pincurchin. So like first draft team had Cyclizar and then Superior, I think. The idea of Superior is that it is filling the role that Lantern does now, where you can come in on the Rotom. But the big problem with Superior is that the Rotom, if it goes for Volt Switch, he does just get momentum, whereas Lantern stops his momentum because I Volt Absorbed the Volt Switch, then he can't switch, and now I'm in with him. Whereas Superior, he'd Volt Switch and then just go to Heatran or something. I did have a cool tech with the Superior because it learns Mirror Coat, so I was like, okay, maybe I could Mirror Coat a Magma Storm back at the Heatran and kill it, which was fun, but I think this is way more consistent. But then, after adding these two, it's much less likely that Spring will be in a position to Terra, so I put Metal Coat on just so that I can still get the guaranteed, not guaranteed, but close to guaranteed KO. And like, if there's spikes up, this is guaranteed, even with like 60 HP, still guaranteed. I just gotta get one layer of spikes up. And then, how do I get this set up is the question. First of all, I think this can just always set up on Iron Treads. Like, if Iron Treads ever gets a kill, I can just switch to Phalanx and set up on it. Because, like, it's only ever doing 60% maximum to me. And then I boost, I'm now faster than it, and I'm now bulkier than it. It would have to be booster speed. That's the only way that it ever beats me, is if it's booster speed max attack. Because it'll be faster. But if it's Assault Vest or anything else, it's done. Or if he's switched out and lost his booster speed, I'll be faster than him after and can revenge him. Alternatively, Memento, right? Goldengo can come in at any point on anything and Memento on it, right? I probably don't Memento Iron Valiant. I probably just kill it with Make It Rain. But Treads, it'll be faster than me. It'll hit me for like 70% because we can put Goldengo back in here. Does 80%. If I'm at 90%, I can just live Memento and now free setup for Phalanx. Alternatively, I should be faster than Heatran. Memento on it, set up. Memento on I could probably just set up on Cleaver. Cleaver can't touch Phalanx at all, unless it's dual Wing Beat, which he's done once. And also dual Wing Beat doesn't get sharpness. Cleaver, let's put dual Wing Beat on here. It does do a lot. Okay, so I might need to Memento it to -2. Then bam, 41. Still a lot. I don't know. But of course it has to have dual Wing Beat, right? Like, I think he for sure needs Stone Axe. I think he wants U-turn. Does he want close combat versus me? He might not care about close combat. Yeah, maybe he drops close combat for dual Wing Beat. And then last move would be, I think he might actually do Night Slash, because that's the only way it has to hit Goldengo. But if it's Scarfed, I can come in on any of those other moves except dual Wing Beat. Then he's forced to switch, I get my no retreat off, and then I'm set up. But I think that plan A is to Memento. Plan B is to come in on Treads or the Cleaver locked into a different move. Plan C is to just weaken the team and then sweep, because kind of everything that's also weak to fighting, everything that's weak to fighting except the Umbreon, happens to just also be weak to water. So, remove the Rotom, remove the Umbreon, and then both of these can sweep at that point, kind of. But that's the squad. The nicknames are obviously players from the FDL. We got Golden Joe, as he always is. Ducky has used Hisui and Samurott before, so I named it that. Rusty's had the Rusty's as Rotoms, even though he's never had this specific Rotom. It's a Rotom in Spirit. Spring loves Phalanx, which was the reason. I'm like, I'm bringing Phalanx, I gotta name it Spring. Then, Elm has never used Lantern, but last season he did use Vaporeon, which is a water type with access to Water Absorb, so it's kind of the same. And then this one's a long shot. Ned has never used Gliscor, but he's used Landorus twice, so it's the same typing. So it's basically, if Gliscor was around in Gen 8, he may have used it, but it wasn't in the game in Gen 8. Problem is that Ducky actually used 2 of these, so I didn't know which one to call Ducky. I'm like, okay, well, this is closer to Nen, because Nen has also never used Samurott. The only thing Nen has used close to Samurott is Empoleon, which is, it's a water type starter, but it's not a Samurott. But that's the squad. I'm excited. This is potentially the last game for me. If I lose, this will be the end of my run. I guess we can look at the rest of the bracket. Winter Viles have already beaten Taraburo, Tatsugiri. And Kane has now left the server because he got very upset that he got unlucky in his match, which, like, really... Oh, okay, yeah, it does work. It really, like, wasn't even that bad. Like, here, it's actually quite disrespectful. I kind of got upset at Kane because, he... Like, look at this. Okay, so first time, send in the Moltres to wall the Infernape on the Flare Blitz, blah, blah, blah. Skip ahead a couple turns, switch Moltres in, Tekka gets a read and goes for Stone Edge to kill the Moltres. And then we just skip ahead to the end game. Garchomp is set up to shit. And then Kane goes for Triple Axle. He's Scarfed. And he only lands one. And then loses off of it. Bitches about the RNG in the chat. Leaves the server. Says, I believe it was something along the lines of like, boy, I love losing to RNG and never getting outplayed by my opponents. I'm like, that's like super disrespectful to your opponent. Because he literally did outplay you right here. Like, that is fucking insane. And you just lost him on. You literally said, well, GG's. Like, here you just admitted that you got outplayed, and then later on you say, I love never getting outplayed by my opponent and by the RNG. And he, like, never getting outplayed by your opponent? Bro, you went, like, 3-2. Or not 3-2, but you went, like, 3-6. Let's see, how many did he have? 5-3. 5-3. That's, like, the same thing. I just had them adding up to 9 instead of 8. But he lost 3 games, and he's like, I never got outplayed, I always got unlucky. Dude, like, shut up. Everybody gets unlucky. If you ignore all the good luck that you have, everybody only gets unlucky. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. I've been over why the luck in our game didn't matter, but TLDR, I got unlucky first, and the only reason it was as close as it was because I got unlucky first, missed the Ceaseless Edge, which let his Latias get in a position where it could kill, like, 2 things. And I would have had Spikes up, which would have killed the Meowscarada, and not made him need the high rolls that I got to kill his Lycanroc, if there even were high rolls, because he doesn't know how much special attack investment I had. But then he just ignores the fact that I missed Ceasel's Edge that would put me in pretty much a winning position. So now has some momentum that he shouldn't have had to start with, and then when he loses that momentum and bitches about it. And then versus Dave, I don't even think anything... he just got fucking outplayed. Like, I actually don't think that really anything happened in that game. I think he literally just got, like, severely out... Oh, no, he actually did get it down to 1. What happened? Where's the luck? Let's keep an eye on the chat, because he's gonna bitch about it when it happens. Oh, there's something. Yeah, you know, I should read. Facade does more than headlong. I'm neutralizing gas. Yeah, I know. Okay, so he just misplayed. Not luck, not luck. Keep in mind there's a misplay on turn 12. Keep going. What happens? I might have misclicked my move there. Latios comes in. Yeah, that misclock lost me the game, Rip. What misclock? Pretty sure you lost no matter what. Let's see the misclick. Alright, so. Volt Switch activates weakness policy. He should agility here. Let's see what misclock he does. Surf only does that much. This is just a classic Kane. He just runs the fucking same shit every week. He's like, he thinks he's really good because he changes his EV spreads every week. But like, what here are you using competitive for? If you're Torrent, that's a range to kill. You should have been Torrent. And versus me, he should have been over Meowscarada just to not... Because the reason he lost versus me is because I forced him to change out of a Dark type, which means he lost Stab on knockoff, because a high roll Dark type knockoff would kill me. But he was Protean because he just always runs the quote unquote good abilities. But literally, Torrent saved him here. Torrent would kill. Let's see what misclick he says. Might have misclicked my move there. What misclick? Pretty sure you lost no matter what. What's he gonna say? Should have roosted or something? Hydro Pump? Oh, he doesn't say. We'll never know what the misclick was. You should have been Torrent. Torrent would have given you a roll to kill. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, anyway, I've ranted about Kane enough. He's kind of pissed me off, and I've never been able to say anything because he's a mod, so he's kind of untouchable. But now that he's left, I can say whatever the fuck I want about him. Yeah, I'll hop into the battle, and I'll see you then. Alright, here we are. Okay, actually let me pull up the draft team just so that I can see. But looking at it, no, Umbreon's really big for Phalanx. What else is he missing? He does have Noivern. I guess it is just over Umbreon is the big one. Yeah. All right, I'm going to lead Rotom. Oh, we got to get the link. Actually, let me cancel that. I'll do the link unless he's got it. Yeah, he's got it. Cool. GLHF. Gotta say that. All right, let's go. Quarterfinals. Is he? He doesn't have a Terra Captain here, actually. I've got all three of them. I just realized I have all three of my Terra Captains. Okay, Cleavor. I Terra, Water, Terra Blast. Let's hope he's not Sashed. Let's hope he's Scarfed. Because if he is, let's see. If I Terra... I mean, nothing kills me. Oh my god. Beautiful turn one. He was Scarfed. He was Scarfed. Here comes Rotom. Amazing turn one. It's amazing. Because I didn't bring a spinner at all. I don't think I said that. Oh my god, this is like exactly the way I planned it. Now to Volt Absorb guy. Let's see him Volt Switch. Let's see a Volt Switch. See a Volt Switch. Yes! Oh my god. Oh, I didn't do the genders correct. Alright, Whirlpool. Let's see a light screen. Let's see a light screen. He actually has no switch in for this, so I do think he's staying in. Well, I don't know. This is actually so good into his team. Shadow Ball. Okay, he's dead. He's dead. I killed him. I kill Rotom for free. I get Rotom for free. He'll never kill me. Let's go, Elm. This thing is so tanky. This has to be max Spadef. Wow. This is prime position for I need to get chip on the Noivern. And then that's prime position for Phalanx to sweep. This is probably Treads here. Yep, Treads in. We'll go Rusty's on the Earthquake. And now we lock into Terra Blast. I mean, he's probably switching, right? It could be Volt Switch, so I'll Terra Blast. It's a not booster. It's important to know. It's probably AV, if I had to guess. I think it's Noivern, but I'm not going to go for a hard read here. I'm very ahead. I don't think I need to make any reads. I can play the slow game versus Noivern. I don't ever need to trick because there's no Umbreon. That was the big trick target. Okay, Noivern comes in. Frisk, okay. 21. I need it at about 50. Elm has done its job, so I think I can actually just go to Elm. Elm is, like, not needed for anything. It's probably, let's see. Terra Blast did 23, or it did 21, which is right in range for the one that I'm expecting. Which means it probably is offensive. It's probably Boots, but we'll be able to see if it's Choice Specs when it does this. Draco, oh, it's Boom Burst. Oh, it's probably Throat Spray then. Okay, That did 29. That means the next one's gonna do 45, which I am completely fine to live. I'll just get the discharge off. Oh, no, he's gonna go for Draco next. But, yeah, he's gonna kill me. But that's fine, because he's gonna lower his special attack. +1 Boom Burst does not kill me. And I'm gonna get Chip, put it in range of Phalanx, and then we're chilling. He does have Draco, so now he's lowered his special attack. I go Ducky. Yeah, Ducky, I think. And, Ceaseless. Or do I Water Move? Expecting Val? No, I'm AV. I can live anything from Val. Not if it's... He's gonna U-turn anyway, right? Doesn't change anything. If he has U-turn. Because he does need... Flamethrower. Okay, it's Flamethrower U-turn, last two. Val comes in, okay. And I missed Ceaseless Edge. Okay. It's not... It's not Booster, which means that Rotom can always Revenge Kill it. I think that puts me like 2 out of 7 I think I've hit or something. Oh my god, he read that. Very impressive read. Is that Specs? Yes, that's Specs. I go back. And now I Water Move. Hedging time. Does this kill me? No. Although, I think I need this. I'm going Nen. Oh, he missed. Oh, it was Hurricane last, which means that this is completely walled by Golden Joe. Do I go Golden Joe? So let's see, Golden Joe is at 30. He does die to 2 Dracos, but he doesn't die to a... He will die to 2 Dracos. I'm a Toxic. This is full Spadef. Yeah, live 2 Hurricanes. Valiant is 100. He's probably not going to one of the... Oh, he did go Treads. Very bold play. This is low enough. Do I just go for game? Yeah. Going for game. Knockoff is actually bad. We've seen the item on this. I know I'm faster. He has to go Valiant, probably, unless it's Choppleberry Heatran, which he has been in the past. I'd win. Yo Treads. I love that Yo Treads is immune to poison. Treads back. Could be Sashed. We haven't seen an item. I think it's AV though. Yeah. Got Protect. Okay, good to know. Oh, he's going Valiant, probably to stall, PP stall me. But Valiant does have a role to live. Wait, yeah. And, I mean, this would be very embarrassing to have done all that, only to have Valiant get the, 7%. Oh my god, I had Vacuum Wave! Oh, he did! He also did get the 4% roll to live! He got the 4% roll to live, and now he's spexed into that. Let's get an extra Rotom kill. Oh, good game, Chutbutter. Amazing quarterfinal game. Next time we'll be playing against either Sigtrick or Weaselman, the runback, so stay tuned for that. It depends on who wins, so stay tuned for the semifinals.